everyone, my name is Vera and welcome to my tea channel. Today I'm just going to take a few moments to introduce myself and give you an idea of what you can expect with the next few videos, alright? So as I said, my name is Vera. I am 29 years old. I am single and more importantly, a tea drinker. I love tea. I do identify as non-binary and will respond to any and all pronouns. And like I said, you just can't escape it. I'm a tea drinker. Like, that's the one thing that keeps popping into my head. I drink tea. I drink tea. But I have a lot of other interests besides tea. I love to read. I love to write, paint. I even actually started binding books, like making journals for myself. Because, you know, I'm just that kind of person. I like to plan. I'm a huge planner person. I love to watch YouTube videos about planning. And I have a bachelor's degree in anthropology because I love to just learn about people and cultures and, man, especially if it all comes back to tea. Man, I can't escape it. I can't escape that thought. So, you know, tea for me started when I was young. I don't think it was always the obsession that it is now, but it definitely became one, obviously. Like, I remember like small bits and pieces growing up, and then it just becoming like, bam, tea, bam, like right there in your face. But you know, my dad was a Southern boy, or is a Southern boy, so he drinks his Louisiana sweet tea every day. We always had a picture of that in the refrigerator because, you know, sweet tea. And it had to be the Louisiana brand, okay? Louisiana. And, you know, my mom used to drink, well, she still does, used to drink tea. It used to be like tea bags, I think. Not so much the loose leaf tea that came as I got older, but my mom, her mom, my Nana, was from England, is from England, I should say, and she drinks tea every day, like clockwork, like every day. And I guess it must have been a carryover from her, you know, that my mom had tea around the house. And whenever my Nana would go to England, like, she'd bring back goodies and things like Turkish Delight and flake bars, of course, and Smarties. Oh my gosh, when you're a kid, there's nothing like Smarties. Like M&Ms just don't compare at all. But I remember there being like a tin of tea, and it's so funny because I think it was actually like in a spaghetti tin. It was like labeled spaghetti. But and they moved around a lot. Like, my parents would empty out containers and like repurpose, I don't know. Anyway, at one point they were in a spaghetti tin, and they were stored above the stove. Probably the worst place for tea, honestly. But there was a tin of tea bags from like British tea my Nana brought back from my mom, and she was so excited. And I remember every time I opened that tin, it was like, I don't know, it was like childhood. It was comfort. And I think because I recognized the smell, like when I stayed at my Nana's house, you know, her tea always smelled the same. And man, even now today, like when I smell a tea, there are certain teas that will bring about that like memory. It's like, oh my God, this smells almost just like that tea. And like, there have been times where I've, you know, just bought teas because of that, because they remind me of that experience growing up and watching my mom brew tea. But like I said, as I got older, you know, tea became more commonplace, especially once Teavana came around. Teavana really started showing up in my neck of the woods down here in Florida. Man, in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. There was one store, there were two stores relatively close to where I lived, and my mom and I used to go to both of them. But there was one when it opened, I want to say it was in 2005 or so. It was actually oh man, it was really small, I remember, but it was so awesome. It was so cool, like going in there, and I'd get to go with my mom, and it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was so exciting. It was different from every other store in the mall, and I knew it was important. Like, tea was always important, and it was like I was walking in with reverence. Like, I would get excited and run in and want to touch all the teapots, but it was like, oh, you know, that sense of just, this is something important. And we would smell the teas, and you know, Teavana kind of became the stepping stone for my mom and I, building the relationship that we have today. And tea remains central to that. Like, we still talk about tea when we find new stores. We call each other. We do all kinds of stuff just about tea, and we'll buy tea for each other if we see something, you know. And I'm so thankful for that. I really am. I'm thankful for tea in my life for that reason. And I think that's why I believe so strongly in tea and its potential to just bring people together, to be a source of community and just general togetherness, you know. And because I've seen what it can do. I've seen how it can mend, you know, broken relationships in more ways than one. And I don't know, like, I can't think about it without smiling. So today, my sister drinks tea. Really all of my best friends do, to some degree. I probably drink tea the most, but that's probably just because I witness it the most. But man, I get so excited just thinking about it, you know. But you know, I had the unique opportunity to work for Teavana. It was actually a suggestion to me by my mom. She suggested it many times, and at first I was too young, and then later it was, you know, I just didn't feel like the right time. But in 2012, I was finally hired on, and it was such a great experience. I worked for Teavana for about 6 years, from 2012 to 2018, when my store unfortunately closed, just like all the other Teavana stores. One of the saddest days of my life, for sure. But that job it was more than just a job to me, and it was so fulfilling. Like, I absolutely loved it. I was a store manager there for the last 4 years or so, and the people that I met, you know, oh man, there's just so many things to be grateful for in that experience. I really couldn't properly put it all into words, but it was one of the best decisions I ever made, going to work for Teavana. I learned a lot, not just about tea, but about people, and again, learned how tea can really be a source of togetherness in our lives, if we will it. So, I know that just sounds silly, but it's so true. But you know, my tea journey hasn't ended with Teavana closing and stuff. It's only become more strong. I do a lot of, like, I try to go to tea conventions and things like that whenever I can, meet people, take classes. I do a lot of reading, and I'm really looking forward to sharing some of that with you on this channel. Sharing tea, doing tea tastings, talking about the history of tea, how to brew tea, the different ways to brew tea. God, there are so many. There's no wrong way to brew tea. It's just different ways. So I'm really looking forward to building a community here with this channel, and us just learning from each other and being able to just share our experiences and come together, and hopefully we'll all learn a little something. I know I will, for for sure. So please, I hope you'll join us, or join me, I should say, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday here on YouTube, where I'll post a new video about something tea related. I know I have some plans coming up where we're going to do a tea tasting. We're going to do, there's actually an article I read recently that I was hoping to share with you guys about tea and kind of explore some new tea places. So, and there's actually a big tea convention coming up in September that I'm going to. I'll be flying out there, so I'm looking forward to sharing that experience with you guys as well. So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tea Goddess Vera. And just all one word, no spaces or periods or anything like that, just Tea Goddess Vera. And please don't forget to like and subscribe below so that you get those notifications, let you know when a new, videos come out, all right? So I hope you have a wonderful week. May it be inspired by tea, all right? And I'll see you next time.